from the street, 919fm.com. Here's what's happening.
Good afternoon. I am Vanessa Thomas with the 12 o'clock news on the street, 919 FM, and online Facebook and YouTube on IWER TV. In the headlines, a shooting in Port of Spain kills one and injures another. 2 more shot dead in Arima, another in San Juan. Fire on Queen Street, Port of Spain, and internationally British Airways to cut 10,000 winter flights. And now the news in detail. 1 man is dead and another injured in a shooting in Port of Spain. According to reports, around 8:30 last night, 27-year-old Avery Weeks of Basilon Street, East Dry River, was walking near Harp Place when a man approached him with a gun. Weeks attempted to run but was chased and shot several times. Another man was struck by a stray bullet in the attack. Both were taken to hospital, where Weeks died. The other man is warded in a stable condition. And a man identified as Darrell Jessup was shot and killed this morning in Maturita, Arima. Jessup was fatally shot around 4 a.m. today along Mount Zion Road. According to reports, Jessup was on his way to work when residents of the area heard several loud explosions. Upon investigating, they found Jessup's body on the ground. Jessup lived at Tumpuna Road, Kamuto, and was staying with relatives in the area. And while investigators were on that scene, they received a report of another murder, this time along Hoyt Avenue in Arima. When officers arrived, they found the body of 57-year-old Brian Carter. He had just left his home moments before he was shot to go to work. Police have no motive for either killing, nor do they have any confirmation on if the 2 incidents are linked. And a man who was standing along Saddle Road in San Juan was shot and killed this morning. Details are still coming to hand, however, the shooting is said to have taken place around 6 a.m. The victim was approached and shot in the head by a gunman. The killer is said to have escaped on foot. The victim is yet to be identified. Fire officers were on the scene of a fire on Queen Janelle Commission Street in the early hours this morning. Fire officials say just before 3 a.m. they received a call that wires were seen sparking on Queen Street. When they arrived on the scene, smoke was seen coming from a booth with a small fire that was quickly suppressed. Officials believed it to be an electrical fire from an air conditioning unit. No injuries have been reported, and there is no official estimate of losses at this time. Prisons and fire officers associations are warning of a potential shutdown in their services to show their dissatisfaction over the government's 4% salary increase. Prison Officers Association President Saran Richards and Fire Service Association 2nd Division President Leo Ramkasoon revealed that potential action may be on the way. Both Richards and Ramkasoon said their members considered the government's offer for salary negotiations between 2014 and 2019 as a salary decrease based on the 22% headline inflation during the negotiating period. Richards warned that he cannot guarantee what the outcome would be, but said it does not look good. He added that prisons officers have reached their breaking point, and whatever this means, said, things will not be normal in TNT, noting that the government is embarking on a journey to shut down the country. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has claimed that the offer, which began at 2% before being doubled, is all the government can afford, as if accepted, it would cost the state over $2.5 billion in back pay up to June 2022. Internationally, British Airways will cut roughly 10,000 short flights to and from Heathrow Airport between late October and March. The move is aimed at minimizing disruption over the winter, and some long-haul flights will also be affected, the airline said. British Airways said it will also cut a dozen round trips per day, totaling 629 flights until the end of October. Heathrow, which is BA's main hub, has capped passenger numbers flying from the airport due to staff shortages. Airports and airlines, which cut jobs during the height of COVID restrictions, are now finding it difficult to recruit enough staff as demand for holidays has returned. Staying on the international scene, at least 20 people have been killed in flash floods in central Afghanistan, with heavy rain destroying thousands of homes and damaging agricultural land. The country has been reeling from natural disasters this year, including a drought and a massive earthquake that killed more than 1,000 people in June. Still on the international scene in India, protesters broke barricades and shouted slogans against Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the Indian capital of New Delhi on Monday after thousands of farmers gathered to protest against what they said were unfulfilled promises by the government. More than 8 months after farmers called off a year-long protest and the government conceded to several of their demands, more than 5,000 farmers gathered in the capital to protest against Modi and his government. Farmers are demanding that the government guarantee a minimum support price for all produce and clear all farmer debts, among other things. And that was the 12 o'clock news on the street 919 FM and online Facebook and YouTube on IWER TV. Recapping the headlines, a shooting in Port of Spain kills one and injures another. 2 more shot dead in Arima, another in San Juan. Fire on Queen Street, Port of Spain, and internationally British Airways to cut 10,000 winter flights. Do enjoy your afternoon and continue to be safe. I am Vanessa Thomas.
News from the street. News from the street. 919fm.com.
Blessings in the wonderful name of Jesus. My name is Nikki Garcia, and you are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast every Monday from 12 midnight to 5 in the morning on the street 919 FM radio. Here, Pastor Helen Garcia and my husband, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach